So you can hear the machine coming up. I like referring to them as the machines because from the debut in 2003, we've carved and cut the mountain by hands and by tools. And today's the first day in the history of the Creative Wheel Center that we actually have the machine coming in. And it's a pretty exciting day, and we wanted you to be part of it. So enjoy the process. To leave no trace, and this is probably the most challenging aspect of running the summer camp with the children, is that when you come to a site to have a lunch, the rule is that you should leave the campsite or the area you had lunch cleaner than when you found it. So for example, you just got to go and make sure that there's no garbage on the ground, because it's so easy to leave a little piece of foil, a little piece of plastic, and yeah, everything looks great. It's a little bit like checking out your hotel room once you leave it. You look under the beds and in the washroom to make sure you haven't left anything, and then you're good to go. Leave no trace.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. Get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling, yeah. Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah.
The important thing to remember is when you have land, I am the landowner. I know what kind of experience I want to give to my clients, to my visitors. So as a landowner, I know the experience, but I can't be an expert in everything. And that's why it's so important for weekends like the one we're having, where we have Mark Schmidt, who's bringing all the experience he has acquired through the years with the International Mountain Biking Association as a trail builder, designer. So he knows all about soil. Like he's the expert on that topic. Jérôme is the expert with the machinery. You have your chainsaw operator. One little person like me can't do it all. So that's why it's so nice to have all these people come forward this weekend and help me with the vision and manifest the potential of this land. Follow me. So a lot of people would say now, oh my God, the ecosystem, you're disrupting the habitat of the little salamanders, all the ants. But this is where education, conservation and recreation comes hand in hand, because then I will have kids come here. They will ride their mountain bike and I can tell them how we're building these trails in a sustainable way. So if we don't have this opportunity to create and carve beautiful trails in the forest for kids to come enjoy, how are they going to learn about the importance of taking care of our forests? This is what a professional is. There is no way that I could come and do this. Like, this is fantastic. So I'm not too sure what Simon is doing, but he's obviously going through the trail and creating, I don't know, I think he wants to create a bit of a berm right here. Do you see the berm here? Moving like that? To do this by hand would take, what we've done so far would probably take 5 days of manual labor. And this soil being so organic, this is heavy, heavy soil to handle with a shovel. So mini excavator it is. I'm totally amazed. Frodo, you're having fun?
Le premier tournant va être plus agressif, donc le berm va être plus anglé. Le deuxième va être plus un virage incliné. Donc ça va plus être pour retenir seulement les pneus, pour empêcher de déraper. Pour après ça, pouvoir se redonner une meilleure élan pour la grimper qui s'en vient. Okay. On va donner un meilleur flow à la piste comme de cette façon-là.
It's been such a pleasure owning this lamb because for some reason I'm rediscovering the kid in me. When I was a child, I used to just love bugs, and I would have never been able to take this bug in my hand when I was a child. Ah, I lost it. But as you get older, you get to master your fears. And usually I'll tell the kids, I'll say, hey guys, wash your hands. And they say, well, what do you mean? So I go like this. I grab soil and I say, wash your hands, guys. They say, well, Dom, you're not washing your hands. Of course I'm washing my hands, because now the bug loves me. I've got clean hands, and they really think I'm crazy. Isn't it beautiful? So this one will let go, and we'll stay back on track.
Qui glisse en avant, puis coffre à outils, on va essayer de peut-être faire une petite braquette en avant pour qu'il glisse.
So normally when you're building trail with machines, there's a few different steps that are followed. So normally somebody goes ahead with the chainsaw and they clear around the corridor, make sure any hazard trees are down so that when the excavator goes through, they don't hit any dead branches and so it doesn't fall onto them, as well as the crew that's coming in after. And then the machine goes through, it clears off all of the top layer of organic material, and then it digs up any good mineral soil, what we use to build the tread with, and just places it loosely on the trail tread. And then usually a hand crew comes in afterwards with hand tools and actually shapes the tread and the back slope and makes the trail look really nice and pretty.
Basically, once the machines go by here and clear all the big stuff out of the way, what's left is clearing the organic material off the top and then creating a rideable sort of tread through the forest here that will disperse water and prevent erosion later on. So right now we're just going through the process of clearing all the rocks, all the roots off, and finishing off the trail so that it's rideable.
So we're going this way and then back. Yeah. Isn't the property, how far is the property? Not far.
Not far.
Oh, okay. So then we get on to the 125. Right on.
What I really enjoy about letting Jérôme from Sentier Boréal come here is that he always brings his bike. What makes Sentier Boréal the experts that they are is that Simon and Jérôme are both mountain bikers. So tomorrow, to actually leave them ride their trail on their own bikes and feel the flow, it's like the cherry on top of the sundae. It's fantastic. Way to go, Jérôme. It looks amazing.
Definitely when we flag trails, the very first thing we look for are positive and negative control points. And this right here, to me, this was a positive control point. As I was walking through the woods, before the trail wasn't even here, I walked straight to this rock band because it's somewhere I wanted to go. So why fight that urge? Let's bring the trail to it and just look at it. You know, it provides a really neat opportunity. People will actually probably ride their bikes and stop here. It provides this very intimate little sort of almost cozy feeling on the trail. You know, we've got some nice trees holding it in. We've got this wall. It almost provides a sense of security.
Well, did you know that in Feng Shui, I took my Feng Shui levels way back, and they would build a house with the Rocky Mountain in the back for exactly what you just said, that sense of security. You feel safe here.
Yeah.
So fantastic.
The McLeod is the most versatile trail building tool out there. It's quite often referred to as the Swiss Army knife of trail building. It's actually a firefighting tool. It was designed for cutting fire line in very arid climates like pine forests in Arizona.
So when I give a trail building school, people are going like, and they're not having fun.
No, okay? That's because people are not letting the tool do the work. So like all tools, what commonly happens when people pick up a tool is they overwork a tool. A tool is designed to actually do something. So the very first thing you'll see people do is they'll grab too tight. So they'll actually be squeezing like their life depends on it. And what happens with that is your arms will cramp very quickly. And unfortunately that happens to a lot of people who volunteer to come out and do trails. Is they hold the tool too tight. And the next day they wake up and their arms hurt and they say, oh, I'm in too much pain, I'm never gonna go back again. So what I like to do is actually I hold the tool very loosely in my hands. And as I'm doing work with it, I'm letting the tool do the work. So I just bring it up and basically drop it. And a lot of people, like Don was showing, will actually try to rake with it.
Yep.
And that's just going to kill you.
Yep.
Just let the tool do the work. And it's just taking small bites, just little cuts at a time. Right? And I'm moving a lot of dirt. I'm not even really holding on to it. I'm holding on to it enough that it's not falling out of my hands. I'm not out of breath. I'm having fun. I can just keep going.
AJ, how are you handling your tool? MJ, how are you handling your tool?
Well,
Are you holding it tight?
no.
No.
He likes the loose grip.
I'm on it, get on it. The chips are on fire. You know I need it much closer.
So what we're trying to do is actually find hazard trees. And hazard trees are dead trees, and particularly dead trees that will be leaning across the trail. What we want to do is actually cut those down now during the construction phase so that they won't fall on the trail when it's open to use. It's very rare that a tree will fall on somebody, but it's a pretty good idea to cut a couple down. So right here was actually a fairly large hazard to my left. I felled that a few minutes ago. The challenge with hazard trees is it's very dangerous cutting because the trees are dead. And typically what will happen is as the tree begins to fall, the top of the tree will break off and fall on the person cutting it. So you do need special certification to fall hazard trees and special training, which I've got. So let's go look for some hazards and cut them down. Get rid of some of the saplings. I'll fall this little guy and then we'll fall the big guy. And a good indication of a hazard tree, if you want to come over here for a second, there's a lot of red flags that we look for. Typical red flags would be the fungus growing on it and the fact that we've got so much bark rot. A pretty standard falling cut. Typically it's a 70-degree angle on the top, 90-degree angle at the bottom, and what that will do is that will create the sort of the hinge that we're going to fall on. Now what I'm going to do right now, this is called holding wood back here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut roughly about an inch above that, perfectly straight coming in. Don't put an angle on it, come in perfectly straight. And what I'll be doing as I'm cutting is making sure my chainsaw is lined up with the direction I want to fall. But I'm going to keep my eyes up, not on the saw, but actually up more than on the saw, because if that top falls off, it's going to come straight down on my head. And sometimes when you fall a dead tree like this, as the tree falls, the top actually stays in place. It snaps off and it comes straight down on people. That's why falling hazards is really dangerous, and it should only be done by people who know what they're doing. It's one of the most common chainsaw injuries. Isn't people getting cut by the saw, it's people getting hit by the tree on the way down. So as the tree began to fall, I kept my eyes open. We're lucky the tree didn't break the top off of, so the weight of the tree just carried it down. In this particular case, what I like to do with hazards is sometimes when you're cutting live trees, you'll still see a little bit of the hinge wood. I actually gave it a little bit more of a jolt of gas as I walked out of there, just to make sure that it wasn't going to splinter up. Sometimes what happens is with dead trees is you'll get splinters of wood that come out, and what that will do is it can cause your tree as it's falling to bounce back or to snap off and barber chair. It could also grab your chain and pull your chain off. So I just gave it a little bit more gas as I walked out. But there you go. The tree won't fall on the trail now.
The situation is a bit different here because you're picking and choosing trees surrounded by the canopy, so you're getting a lot of leaners. It's not like when you're cutting wood for firewood.
Yes.
It's a little trickier.
Okay.
But it works.
It's great. Well, I'm happy you're here. You're an angel. I keep telling you, you're my angel. Rocky Mountain. Cool. This is the plateau.
We have quite a bit of trail roughed in.
Okay.
And,
like from the Toblerone Rock, what we started yesterday.
Yeah, we've probably got 700.
Okay.
No, maybe we've got 500 meters cut.
Okay.
So we're at a point now where the trail kind of switched back a few times, and Simon is at the end of the flagging that we have.
Okay.
So we have two decisions. One is we go and we flag further,
Yes.
and he go further with the machine.
Yeah.
The other is we drive the machine out, we bring it down here, and we build your trail down below.
Well, I think what you said this morning, that if you were to reevaluate the center and all that, that you would be here.
Yeah.
I think that I think we should come back down. I'm just thinking though, I'd like to show you Ironwood Loop.
Yeah.
Because I think it could use a little bit of a ditch witch. So is there a possibility that on the way down we do the ironwood loop?
Yep.
So I'll go back up
Okay.
with you, and then I'll show you the ironwood loop.
Okay.
And then if tomorrow, chances are we bring the machine down tonight.
Yeah.
So then we have it here tomorrow morning.
Well, we're thinking basically the excavator's at a point right now where it either starts getting out of the woods or it continue in the woods.
Yeah.
So I just told them to get out of the woods.
That's
I said,
perfect.
I said, come down.
Parce que c'est ça qui serait le fun de bourrer à voir comme tu vois quand tu fais des camps d'été. Yann, would you like a coffee? Yeah. S'il vous plaît, absolument.
It has figure 8 berms. So it has berms that go like this. So you come in, you cross over, and you do that, and then you're out. So you go bang, bang. So you actually cross over the trail. So if you're too close to somebody, you'll hit them. But to commit to that,
It's just berm.
just berms. Do raised tread along this bottom, through the bottom section, and then climb up to enter the trails over there. So that's how long the trail would be. That would have to be raised tread though. And then in that area over here is where the proposed pump track could go. But we need to get this cut in, so. Would you guys come back and do a wood bridge?
Yeah, but the thing is,
Because there's not a lot of rock here for us to do
No,
a rock raised tread.
but the what I'm just thinking is, because I'm trying to do eco, there's so many rocks, I could see 3-4 big boulders, and then you're riding on the boulders, and when the water goes on, you're riding on a little bit of water. On a hot day, it's kind of refreshing instead of wood.
Drop down, hit a bit of contour. Let's walk around the road to where we cut in.
Yep.
But on this slope, we have the potential of doing a nice kind of bench cut.
What I had initially felt, it was I was going like this.
Right down the far line.
And then corner out.
Do we have time for that? I don't know if we're gonna have time for it. I don't think so.
Ben, t'as vu le potentiel,
I
right?
think we should
Alors,
just do
si
the
c'est
2
la carte
trails,
d'affaires,
Yeah.
and that's about
c'est
it.
senti bas les
Let's
rangs.
take
Take
Okay.
time.
That way we can all be out of here by noon.
More.
Comme ça, je pense, senti bas les
We
rangs.
talked about was trying to make this a loop.
Okay.
Because right now it's sort of like a trail. It starts here and ends up there. So if we could figure out how to make the trail go around and where it kicks out by that picnic table up there, almost have it come back down into here. Would you mind if we put trail here? So then we'd have the possibility of multiple loops without having to go on this trail again.
Ce qu'on doit faire ici, c'est reconstruire un sentier d'accès pour éviter que les usagers, on ait un conflit d'usagers entre les piétons qui montent par le chemin d'accès et ceux qui descendent en vélo à pleine vitesse. Ce qu'on va designer ici, c'est une nouvelle loop qui va départager les usagers, réduire le risque en même temps. On va rentrer dans le bois à peu près à hauteur de la table à pique-nique en haut. On va s'ouvrir une petite ligne avec la machinerie. Ça va donner une ligne de contour d'environ 50 mètres de long. Ça devrait prendre 1 heure, 1 heure et demie environ à compléter.
Orange gloves. We are color coordinated. The machines are coming through. Simon is cutting the trees. I'm putting my orange gloves to go remove the logs out of the way so that the machine can come through.
Makes your way all across the land. See him
create here is Creative Wheel Center, LaRoccaXC Mountain Bike School. So the problem that I had was how to direct the flow of riders, because as the mountain bike school, I teach my students, and then the students as club, excuse me, as club members can come and practice on the trails that I've taught them. That's the whole philosophy of the center. You take a lesson and you practice, practice, practice. So right now I'm gonna just go and test the trail just to see how it flows, and yeah, just go for a little ride. Fantastic. So the bowl is coming this way. The whole idea was you got riders coming out here. You got a conflict right here, because there's people coming down, and there's my beginner riders. Got my advanced riders flying down here. My beginner riders going like this. We're redirecting my green riders this way. So I think I'm going to start from here. This is loose ground, but it's great for technical skills. I've never seen ever in my life a sandy berm, because berms are usually super hard packed. That's why it's really important when you're developing a mountain bike center that you have some really pro riders riding, because an advanced rider will ride a trail faster. They take much different lines. So in a way, when you teach beginners, intermediate level riders, you're teaching them on a trail that's been carved by, first of all, a crew that knows what they're doing, and then the rider basically comes with their tire and carve the trail. So let's try that.
About the Joker and the thief, I said. I'll tell you all the story about the Joker and the thief, I said. I'll tell you all about the Joker and the thief in the night.
So the other thing too about owning land is that you come across trees like this. All of a sudden the ditch witch has an impasse. She can't go. So here's the log. I have Mark on the ditch witch. I gotta cut this log. What makes Mark today multitasking is that he's gonna cut the tree, then go back on the ditch witch. So let's listen to Mark give us his little piece on chainsaw work.
Sure. First and most important thing, like Dom mentioned, is safety. Typically we'll be wearing a Kevlar pant. The Kevlar pants are rated to 26,000 RPM, which is the speed that the chain runs at in slowing down. The chain actually runs faster than that. So even if you are wearing the Kevlar pants and you have a full running chainsaw, you still can put the chain through your leg. Now this saw is warm. This is a Husqvarna. What we're going to do is we're going to start it up, and I'm going to give Dom a little bit of some practice here on this log. We're going to be bucking up this log, and I'm going to let her cut a couple. If you were to start cutting into this, which way would this log go?
Well, if I cut there, the log would come here.
Well, if you cut down here, the way the log will pull it straight down.
Okay.
This is under compression, so everything is squishing.
Okay.
And this is under tension, it's pulling.
Okay.
So you always want to work with the pull. Now you'll see a lot of times people will actually come into a log and they'll cut like this. If you're putting a lot of pressure on the front of that saw, it's multiplying that pressure multiple times before it actually gets to your saw. So cut with this.
Okay.
And the beauty of a saw, a lot of people think saws are heavy, they're awkward. The saw does the work for you.
Yes,
it's just like every other tool.
Like the
exactly.
Perfect.
There's two ways to start a saw. One is you put it on the ground.
Yep. And you step on it.
You put your foot in there. You grab here, lock your arm. So it's your 3 points of contact. 1, 2, and 3. The other way to do it, the way I prefer to do it, is pin it between my legs.
Yeah.
Arms straight and locked. 3 points of contact. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So bar is on. To start it, this should be a warm saw, so all we have to do is turn it into the on position. So I'm going to come in, and there's no need to bend over and hurt your back. Get nice and comfortable.
Okay.
What you want to try to do is stay away from the top of the chain, though. If you're cutting like this, and something happens, it's coming right up at you. So stay to the side of it. There's no need to be over top of that saw. That's it.
Wow.
Your turn. Pick it up. Give it a little burp of gas. Okay? Nothing will happen. Chain's on. Take your brake off.
Good?
Yep.
Like that?
Get comfortable. Relax. Lift it up. Lift it up a little bit. Give it full gas. Full gas and hold it.
When I hold it down.
Yep.
And do I put it down when I...
It'll pull away on you. Don't go down.
I'm so scared.
Don't be scared. Okay, brake on. Saw off. There you
Oh
go.
my God. You know, I'm sorry, Mark, but that is scores. This is a lot scarier than going down a hill full pit on my mountain bike. I said if they don't come today, they are not real This is Creative Wheel Center, and that's LaRoccaXC mountain bike school. School, right? Not a center, school. And the reason it's out there, because I don't mind the grease out there, because that's sort of contemplation. This, as a sports psychologist, this is where you write in your journal after your race. But I know you guys write in your journal, eh? Yeah. That's right. Exactly.
On a fini, projet complété. On va pacter la machine puis on décolle bientôt. C'est l'heure d'aller rider.
This has been a great weekend. Getting back in the dirt has been super awesome and refreshing, and I'm super excited and super stoked to get back on the road to do this full time.
Well, I'm just here to build some trail, and it's fun, and it's been a really rewarding experience so far.
It's been a great weekend. I'm really looking forward to coming back and riding the trail. I've never actually had the opportunity to get out here, so once all the building is done and finished, I'm really stoked to come back.
It's evolving. What are we doing here?
Mark, you think you can carve a 47? Because it took me 47 years to cut my first piece of wood.
Definitely. We'll go back to the chainsaw. I can do it right away.
L'ADS VMQ, l'Association de développement de sentiers de vélo de montagne du Québec. C'est un organisme qui a été fondé en 2004, que j'ai fondé avec des partenaires. C'est un organisme non lucratif qui fait la promotion et le développement des sentiers de vélo de montagne au Québec. On a une division qui fait vraiment de la promotion du développement. On travaille entre autres avec le ministère du Tourisme, avec le ministère de l'Environnement. On s'implique beaucoup avec les clubs. On représente au-delà de 6 000 membres à travers la province. Les dernières années, on offre un service d'aménagement professionnel. Aujourd'hui, en 2010, cette division-là a été fermée. On a recentré les activités sur le développement du sport, de l'activité, du loisir. On a une grosse mission du développement récréatif, donc on s'implique beaucoup de ce côté-là aussi. On a publié en 2009 un guide d'aménagement de sentier qui est basé sur les principes d'aménagement d'IMBA. C'est le premier guide du type qui est disponible en français. On le vend 40 $, il est disponible sur notre site web. Sinon, vous pouvez le trouver dans plusieurs shops, dans plusieurs magasins qui sont membres avec nous.
Wonderful weekend. I got a train to catch, but I had fun.
Yeah, it's a nice weekend.
I love these horses.
Oh yeah, they got ready to.
Catch and release. That's what we do at the camp. We get our hands clean, we catch and we release.
Cleaning up, making room for the hikers and the bikers. Enjoying every minute, and I'll be back again.
And I don't wish for this alone. No, I don't wish for this long. Everyone around wants to give you their hands. Everyone around puts their hands on your back. And they say, we want to thank you so much. We want to thank you so
Oh my God, that was good. That was fantastic. You just get a full picture. Good work.
you've done is not yours alone. What you